Hi, this is Kathy Weymouth from Tune the Temple, and this is the season of gift giving and gift receiving. I'm recording this during December, and I have my decorations, my little tree, and I just want to focus today in our video about the gifts that we have received this year. I just think it's a great reflection tool. It's a great way to lift our spirits if it's been a challenging year. It's a great way to just tap into gratitude and thankfulness for your life as you have experienced it this year. And I think it might even set you up for next year to have maybe a different outlook than maybe you have in the past. So let's talk about gifts. Gifts are basically something that's been given willingly to another person without expecting any kind of payment, any kind of payback. It's just simply a gift. It's a present that's been given to a person. Okay. Now, gifts we know come in the form of physical gifts that we usually give to each other at Christmas time and birthdays. But I want to talk about the non-physical gifts. I want to talk about two things in your life that I would like for you to reflect on today as gifts. And the first category, so there's a handout included. You can print off this handout, and it should be with the video. There should be a link with the video. Okay, so I want to talk about some things like events in your life or situations in your life that have been a gift. I want to talk about people that have been gifts to you. And then I want you to reflect on, how has this been a gift? Okay, so let's go back to events. Maybe you hosted your daughter's wedding and paid for it. Okay, so there might have been some things that were challenging about that, but hopefully it was mostly a positive experience. And so you could just list here, your daughter's wedding. Or maybe you took on a new job. Okay, yeah, there's going to be parts of that that's very challenging, but I'm hoping that it was mostly a positive. If it was, you could list it here, my new job. Okay, then there's people. There are people in your life who lift you up. They're mostly encouraging to you. Okay, there might be some challenging things in the relationship, but for the most part, if they are lifting you up, they're loving you well, they are encouraging you, supporting you, extending grace to you when you make mistakes. If it's mostly a positive relationship, then I want you to just list those people here. Okay, hold off on this column for now because that's going to take a while maybe for you to do. So for right now, I want you to work on these two. I'm actually going to encourage you to pause the video. Pause the video, give yourself like 2 minutes just to simply list and hold off on that. And then come back and restart the video. Okay, so now you restart the video. We're going to focus on something different. We are going to kind of flip the paper over, and we are going to talk about those things that have been challenging. Okay, mostly challenging, mostly difficult, mostly hard. Okay, so you've had, I'm sure, some situation or events this year that have been hard. They may have been very painful. I mean, maybe someone in your family died, and it might be that you're still heavily grieving. That's a hard situation, okay? Maybe you lost your job. Maybe your car had to have a lot of repairs. You know what those are. List the difficult situations, mostly challenging situations here. List those people that are mostly challenging to you. They're not mostly positive, they're mostly challenging. They are hard relationships. Okay. Why don't you pause the video, hold off on this, and go ahead and list these. Just number them down. Just take a couple of minutes to number them. Okay, go ahead and pause. Okay, so now that you've done that on both the challenging and the mostly positive, I want to talk to you a little bit about gifts. We can see easily how these are gifts to you, people that lift you up, positive situations, positive events. And you can reflect on them, and after the video is done, I'd like to have you go ahead and just fill in, how were each of these something that you could actually see it as a gift. It may not be hard on this side of the sheet. Now, when you flip over and you go to this side and you're talking about something really painful or difficult, or a person who's really, really challenging, it might be hard for you to see them as a gift. But I want to say something to you. Everything that we go through, if we have the right attitude, can be seen as a gift. How or why? It's because even difficult things, if we perceive them as a gift, they will help us to become a kinder, better person. We will experience more empathy and compassion for someone. I mean, I just had my physical therapy appointment, and I was talking with my therapist because we had both experienced miscarriages. And I just have so much compassion for someone who has just gone through this, a younger person, because I went through it in the 80s. And that was, losing two babies was really difficult. But it has caused me to have so much more compassion and understanding for someone who's going through it now. And I can extend love to that person, and I can extend just kindness and empathy. So difficult situations, if you look at them properly, maybe it's too hard to do it right in the moment. Maybe the week that something difficult happens, or the month. But then maybe as time goes on, it might get easier if you could say, oh, this is a gift to me. How can I see this as a gift? How can I grow from this? How can I become kinder? How can I be a nicer person to people? Okay, so I really want you to see that nothing that you've been given, the good and the bad, is wasted in your life. These are gifts. And I want you to just reflect back on this year and say, I have been given a lot of gifts, and some of them were great and some of them were terrible. They seem so terrible to me. Like the sudden loss of a young person in your family. I mean, I went through that. It's awful. I mean, I couldn't talk about it for a year without crying. It's just so much grieving that goes into something like that. But I can see that I'm growing from that, and it's a difficult thing, but I'm definitely have so much more compassion for people that have experienced that. My heart breaks for them in a way that now I know it, right? So everything that we go through, the good and the challenging, can be a gift to us if we see it that way, if we work through it, we work through our emotions. You know, sometimes we can actually grow in the way of setting boundaries. I mean, I love talking about boundaries. If you haven't been raised, most of us weren't, to learn how to set boundaries, then it's those challenging things that you go through that's going to teach you how to do it out of necessity. Okay, so maybe there is a situation in your life where you need to set some limits on how you let someone treat you, and maybe they're treating you with disrespect, and you have to learn how to ask for respect from them. Maybe you loaned someone some money and they've not paid you back. Well, this is a gift to you, because it's an opportunity for you to now say, I need to learn how to set boundaries. I need to learn how to set a plan. I need to learn how to help this person give me my money back, because it's not only going to help me with financially, but it's going to help them because they learn that they need to be responsible. Okay, maybe you overextend yourself, maybe at your church or in your community, and maybe this is all of these events that you've been going to and that have been draining you, and you wish that people would simply stop asking for you to do things. This is a gift to you. It's a gift for you to learn how to say, oh, I have limits in my energy and in my schedule and my ability to do things with love. I have limits. I can't do everything that's asked of me. And this is an opportunity for you to grow how to set boundaries and actually learn again how to say no, and say yes to the things that you really want to do and you know that you're meant to do, and say no to all the others. That's a great gift. I mean, you might have thought of it as annoying, and you might have thought of it as just over the top, people asking so much of you because they need you and you like to be needed, and you give and you give and you give. Now this is a gift back to you, that you can learn how to set boundaries and learn how to balance your life. Remember, I talk about that. This is balance. You want to be able to give, but you don't want to be able to overgive, and then you're just fried, right? So this is a time to reflect back on the last year. Use this paper. Go ahead and print it out. Okay, the mostly positive and the more challenging ones. And fill in all these parts. Take some few minutes. And then let's think about next year when it comes along, when these things come along. Let's remember to think of things as gifts. Okay? Something being given to you without any kind of payment. But it's meant to bless your life. Gifts are meant to bless your life, the good and the bad. Okay, this is Kathy Weymouth at Tune the Temple. I hope that blessed you. And I just do want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay.